Jack, where's Jack? Where's Jack? Where is he? Jack, I want to see you. Great job, Jack. Thank you. What a job you do. You know, we have an incredible thing. We're always talking about the fake news and the bad, but we have guys, and these are the guys who should be getting Pulitzers.
All right, folks, Jack Posobiec, we're back here. Human Events Daily, Real America's Voice. Folks, Americans are tired and frustrated by a stalling economy, inflation, endless wars, and the relentless assault on our values. But thankfully, there's companies like Patriot Mobile that still believe in America and our Constitution, and I'm proud to partner with them personally because Patriot Mobile is on the front lines fighting for the First and Second Amendments, the sanctity of life, and our military and first responder heroes. Take a stand for conservative causes by putting America first and switching to Patriot Mobile today. You will get the same great nationwide coverage as the big providers because Patriot Mobile operates across all three major networks. Plus, they back their service with a coverage guarantee. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team will find the best plan for your needs. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Go to patriotmobile.com/POSO or give them a call, 972-PATRIOT. Right now, you get a free month when you use promo code POSO. Don't get fooled by other providers pretending to share your values or having the same coverage. They don't and they can't. So join me, switch to America's only Christian conservative mobile provider, Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com/POSO or call 972-PATRIOT for your free month of service today. All right. I've got a special guest coming on now for Human Events Daily. First time that he's ever been on my show, but I've been on his show. It's Leland Vittert of NewsNation. What's up, Leland?
Jack, good to see you. Thank you.
Oh, thanks to have you. Thanks for coming on. And I just wanted to say, so you and I got to, didn't know each other too well, but, you really came out and did great coverage of when Charlie passed away, his murder, his memorial. You came out and did several days, I believe, of shows out there, even directly from the vigil itself, right outside of our Turning Point headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona. And I just wanted to say thank you for giving it the spotlight that you did and for coming out. And I know it's not easy to make the trek, but myself and, a lot of the people that work with Charlie, that knew Charlie, we really appreciated it.
Well, you're nice to say that. And we appreciated the very warm reception from TPUSA and the folks there. When we obviously learned about Charlie's death and saw the effect it was having on the entire country, I think it was something that we needed to be at. And it's one of the things I love about NewsNation is our connection to our audience that really responded to that. And the nerve that Charlie's assassination touched, NewsNation outrated both CNN and MSNBC before, during, and after his funeral service. We covered the whole thing and took the whole thing live. And I think it speaks to Charlie's influence that no one, I think, in life probably fully understood. Certainly I didn't, even though I've covered him since 2015 and knew him since 2015. His influence on the national political conversation and the effect that his assassination had is something I think we're still trying to figure out. And I'll be quiet in a minute, but I would be remiss if I didn't say to you, Jack, that I think the fact that Turning Point, in the midst of its founder, leader, sort of spirit animal, everything Charlie was, in the midst of his assassination and that grief and that sadness, to be able to pull off an event and fill a football stadium and a basketball stadium to memorialize him, those are the kinds of events that take months to plan, political conventions with the president and the vice president and everything else. And Turning Point did it in a week. And it speaks to the just incredible organization and professionalism that Charlie built that I think people just did not really understand and appreciate in his living time.
No, and I thank you for that as well. The entire team there, Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action, it's just the people that Charlie brought together. It's the talent that he saw. It was his ability to, and I think a lot of people didn't. He would always joke with me. He would say, Jack, if I fail at this politics thing, I'll go and be a college football coach. I'm going to go SEC. And, people, could see the videos of Charlie, and he could throw the long ball. He really could. He's a great basketball player, too. And he honestly could have probably considered or pursued a career in that if he wanted to. But it was his ability to see talent and then put people who had that talent in places where it made sense was how he built those organizations, and he was making them bigger and bigger, the events, and the organization was getting larger. And obviously now it's exploded in terms of size and growth and interest since his assassination. But it was because he built everything to put, everyone who was there and, whatever small role I played, to also kind of just be on the front lines and have a front row seat to all of that as it was going on around me, or, pick up the phone. Hey, can we get this thing? Can we get that thing? And everybody just said yes. I mean, it was one of those situations where everybody was just saying yes to everything. Whenever we needed something, the Cardinal Stadium was fantastic. They were phenomenal to work with. I mean, they just said yes, of course, right away. So many people really stepped up. And even stories about people that I'm not really at liberty to say because they wanted to help out, but didn't necessarily want to get credit for it or anything like that. They just wanted to do it because it was the right thing. And look, none of it makes what happened right, but it was truly an amazing thing to just be a very, very small part of that I was. And, that was Charlie, right? That was Charlie understanding his ability. And, it struck me that day when I walked in to the stadium, and that Charlie had always told us that he wanted to do a stadium show. He had always said that. And it was sort of his vision, and he would send us messages. This is the vision. This is the vision. And we finally got there. And in a sense, and I know, he's looking down, but in a sense, he knew that maybe on some level, he knew that we'd get there without him physically being present.
Yep. Well said.
But, one of the things that you passed me that, in the midst of all this, and I had no idea that this was going on, you've just released it. You're now a New York Times bestselling author. You debuted at number 4. You've written this incredible book. It's a memoir in a sense. It's about yourself. It's about your father, your relationship with your father, but also, and this is really one for so much of the Maha audience, this is an issue that we've talked about a ton from Bobby Kennedy and his work, and Nicole Shanahan and her work, about living with autism and growing up with autism. It's called Born Lucky. You've received an incredible response for it, and well-deserved, because I've had a chance to flip through. I haven't read it all yet, but I've flipped through a lot of it. I mean, this is an incredible story. What was it like, coming out and publicly telling your story like this? It couldn't have been easy.
No, and Jack, you're nice to say everything you did about the book. For 42 years, I didn't talk to anybody about this. My parents didn't tell anyone, no teachers, no counselors, no friends, nobody, that I had been diagnosed when I was 5 or 6 years old. And through all of that, we as a family handled everything together: the learning disabilities, the bullying, the isolation, the emotional trauma and difficulties. And now at 43, going through therapy, if you will, on national television, is not exactly a thrilling experience. But it has been proven worth it because of the hundreds, if not thousands, of emails, social media responses, everything I have gotten to Born Lucky, because Born Lucky is hope for every parent of a kid having a hard time. Doesn't matter if it's autism or ADHD or anxiety or bullying or the social media disasters that kids go through, whatever it is. This is proof of the power and agency that parents have. And I think you're very right to point out, parents aren't told that. They're not told how much power they have to help their kids and shown. They're told to just put their kids in bubble wrap and meet them where they are. My dad chose to try and adapt the world to me rather than adapt me to the world. Is very different than what's out there right now. And Born Lucky, I think, is showing how many families that are having a hard time, that they are not alone.
Well, and I just have to say it because it's, there's obviously when we look at what Bobby Kennedy's doing and Nicole Shanahan, and there's so many parents out there that are dealing with these issues, or have children who are dealing with these issues, and they want to know what to do. So even you just coming out and being public about your diagnosis and being public about your childhood, and then by the way, I don't know how to say this without coming across as rude. I had no idea. I was just shocked. I was just completely shocked when you said that. And even I'm rarely speechless, but I'm like, what? It made no sense whatsoever. And I'm reading through this, and I realized that that's why you wrote the book. It's because of the effect of your father, the effect of growing up the way that you did. And it's a testament to the fact that other people can do this as well. And what an incredible gift that is for them.
Yeah, Born Lucky isn't a prescription or a cure, right, Jack? It is this story about what great parenting can do. George Will wrote the foreword, and he said, this is proof of the mountain-moving power of parental love, which parents aren't told. You know, being a strong parent isn't celebrated right now. This is proof of what strong parenting can do. And you think about when I was about 6 years old, my parents were told they had to have me evaluated. Worst thing any parent can hear. So they take me to one of those medical testing centers, and they're in there for a couple of hours waiting for me in the waiting room. We've all been there, linoleum floors, stale coffee, old magazines. The woman comes out.
Speaking of waiting, we're going to have to wait to catch the end of that because we are up on a quick break, a hard stop. But I'll hold you right there, and we'll come back right after the break. Leland Vittert here on Human Events Daily.